Hey YouTube, welcome back to Tinker with Tools. Tonight we're going to be revisiting a topic from a few months ago when I went through 4 different $99 drills and talked about which one I thought was worth your hard-earned money. Well, today we are going to be following that up with a round 2, including pitting it against my recommendation from round 1. So let's get right into that on Tinker with Tools. Alright, so if you remember that video, I pitted this Kobalt brushless drill against different drills from Rigid, Craftsman, and DeWalt to try and figure out which one of the Black Friday Christmas specials was going to be most worth your time and money. Now in that test, this one had the best specs on paper, and so when it came down to it, that is the one that ended up getting my recommendation because it certainly backed up those specs with some impressive performance and definitely was better performing than the other drills out there. Now in response to that video, some of you recommended a couple of different drills that I had not yet tested. And so tonight we are going to be doing a roundup of those drills. Now these drills are not necessarily currently on $99 special, but they were either on $99 special during the holiday season or they have since gone on sale, which is what we're going to talk about at the very end. Now this is going to be the Bosch GSB 18V 490. Now this is one that I did not buy during the holiday season, but it did not sell well and they had some excess stock at my local Lowe's store. And so I actually picked this one up for roughly $75 about a month and a half after the holiday season. Now this is one of the few hammer drills that you're going to be picking up in that price point. Now its specs aren't necessarily going to jump off the page at you, but to be able to get a hammer drill at that price point with a solid metal chuck, you are getting some good creature comforts here in this tool. It comes with a single 2 amp hour battery. Next up is going to be a similar situation from Makita. This was the $99 special at Home Depot during the Black Friday and during the holiday season. It comes with a single 3 amp hour battery, a charger, and a bag, but it has a plastic outer chuck. It feels almost like an older tool that they are just repurposing for a holiday special. But if you like Makita tools, then you will probably like this drill within its limitations. You do get the biggest battery out of any of these specials we're talking about. Most of them offer a single battery, but this does offer the biggest single battery. So that is something that is worth considering there. All right, and now the tool that has caused me to revisit this topic. This is going to be the Flex FX 1151. This is not their turbo model drill or hammer drill. This is the brushless one that is below that. This was kind of their compact model. They are coming out with a new compact model in the coming months that they've already announced. It's on their product pages, but I've yet to see it in stores. But this drill is normally $200. But right now, Lowe's is having a special where you can get this, 2.5 amp hour 24 volt batteries, and a charger for $99. That is the price point that finally caused me to tip over and buy this drill. I had often just kind of written it off saying, well, it's not as powerful as its big brother. It's not going to be worth your time. So I am not going to be one of the biggest proponents of flex tools. They certainly have their place. They have lots of power, and I think that for a first attempt, what they've done with their tools is pretty incredible. But most of their tools are heavy for what I think they are capable of doing. And while they do have tons of performance, I sometimes feel like they lack some of the finesse or some of the feel that you get with other brands, especially at that price point. This tool takes everything from that turbo hammer drill and just kind of shrinks it down a little bit and makes it into a much more compact tool. Now, one thing I want to point out here is if you start putting these tools side to side, this is the Kobalt, not the XTR, just the brushless that came out earlier this year. This is the Flex brushless. If you start to take a look at these tools, you are going to see a lot of similarity. These tools are incredibly similar. Now, that's not coincidental. These are made by the same company. Shervon owns both Kobalt and produces them for Lowe's, and Flex, which is also now sold at Lowe's in addition to other stores. So you are going to be getting potentially a very similar drill. Now the specs on paper, some of them are quite similar, some of them are a little bit different. So now let's go ahead and do some testing on these. We're going to do 5 drilling tasks and 5 driving tasks, and then we're going to come back over here for some conclusions once we've done that testing. The cheap. All right, so first we are going to be driving a 3 1/8 inch GRK. So now we are going to move right up to a 4 inch GRK. So now we're going to go with a 5-inch spack. So now we are going to be going with a 5-inch power lag. So we are going to be capping it off with a 6-inch timber lock screw. So let's go ahead, we'll get the camera set up for the drilling test. As I mentioned, we're going to do 5 drilling tests. We'll kind of go through those and see if we can figure out which one of these is the best. You gotta love when you do 4 holes and then realize you weren't recording any of it. So we're going to be doing that again. We are going to be going first with a 3/4 inch Diablo Speed Demon bit. All right, and now we're going to be going with Makita on a 7/8 inch Speed Demon. All right, so now we're going to be going to these flex boring bits. This is a 3/4 inch. All right, so now our 4th test, we're going to be doing the 1-inch version of that same bit. 1. We're going to drop down to speed 1 to finish. So now the Makita failed on the last bit in speed 1, but we are going back up to speed 2 to start this test. So Makita instant cutout, let's go down to speed 1. Also cutting out. Did make it considerably farther. The bit is protruding out of the other side, but just barely. Finishing in speed 1. So that time, just to kind of see, it was able to go through it with multiple trigger pulls, but obviously even a drill as powerful as this one feels does have its limitations. Let's go back over to the bench. We'll talk about the results and we'll see which one should get your hard-earned money in that $99 price point. All right, so there is our testing. You'll have been able to see the exact results. So what I'm going to be giving you is just my impression of how it went based on what I felt. Let's go ahead and run through each of the tools and then I'll talk about kind of how they compare to each other and kind of give you some impressions. The Makita certainly feels like the cheapest drill here. The plasticky chuck that doesn't give a lot of really good quality feel to it when you're ratcheting it down. I have had a bit slip out a couple of times. This drill simply feels a little bit older and a little bit cheaper than the rest of the competition here. It does not feel like a heavy-duty drill by any means, and I get these aren't premium hammer drills or anything like that. That being said, if you like Makita, there is still a lot of good Makita ergonomics going on here. The trigger response is going to be the best out of any tool here, and I actually really do like the overall balance of the tool. Especially if you could pick this up for the price that I picked it up for, getting down to that $75 to $80 range. then I think there's some good value here. But don't pay full price for this drill. There are better tools in this market. There are better tools currently on sale. So for that reason, I don't think you can recommend the Makita here. The Bosch is an interesting tool to me. Now, if I had one thing to say about this tool, I would say that the balance feels just a little bit weird. If you take a look at it compared to most of these other tools, it feels like the handle's considerably further back than the rest of the tools, and that makes it so it feels a little bit nose heavy. Now, it is a hammer drill. That's something that can hold over the rest of these, but obviously at this torque number, you're not going to be getting a very potent hammer drill. If you're getting this solely for the hammer drilling, I don't think you're going to be too impressed with the performance of it. Overall, the rest of the tool's ergonomics are pretty darn good, and I think if you can get past that balance issue, I think it actually is a pretty nice tool. This one is a decent tool, but it still isn't going to hold a candle to these other two over here. All right, so now we're going to talk about the Kobalt and the Flex kind of together. As I mentioned before doing the testing, if you were to look at these tools side by side, you probably could be convinced that they are the same tool. I was already high on the Kobalt tool. It won the first comparison, and I stand by it that against those drills, it certainly is going to be the one that you should choose out of those original set of drills. If I'm putting it up against these two, the Makita and the Bosch, neither one are bad drills, but if you just want best bang for buck performance, the Kobalt is going to be there for you. Now, where that argument starts to fall apart is when you come put it up against the Flex under the current pricing. This tool on sale right now, and I can't express enough that you should go out and take advantage of that sale if you haven't already. You are getting basically the same performance, and you're getting a second 2.5 amp hour battery. And so you're getting a lot of really good value at that $99 price point. We're going to have to do some further testing against my beloved DCD 800 from DeWalt, because this tool feels like it could go toe to toe with that compact XR. It might lose, but if you don't like yellow, it might give you a good solid alternative to that. Overall, the performance on this tool was well enough that I would recommend this being the one that you should go with over any of the other $99 drills. I like to do these tests because at that $99 price point, I think it's a really easy way to get onto a system, to be able to get in with a charger and a battery and get a good quality tool and kind of get going. But with so many different options to choose from, it can be kind of hard to decipher which one is going to be the one for you. And overall, I think the Flex takes the overall crown. Kobalt's coming in a very close second. Go ahead and let me know if you were going to spend your hard-earned money, where would you be spending that $99? Now, we do have a big milestone coming up on the channel. We are approaching the 5,000 subscriber mark, so let me know, would you be interested in a giveaway for one of these Flex drills for that 5,000? Go ahead and let me know in the comments down below. If you have any questions about any of the tools you've seen in this video, go ahead and leave them down there as well. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. And until next time, I'll catch you on Tinker with Tools.